What if every text you want to send is secretly stealing your power without you knowing it? What if mastering silence isn't about playing games, but about becoming untouchable? And what if the moment you resist the urge to reach out is the very moment you reclaim your true strength? Let's dive into how to resist desperation, embody Stoic power, and rebuild yourself into the man no one can ignore, not even her. If you're about to text her again, stop right there before you hit that send button. You need to hear this too often. We act out of desperation, fear of loss, or the aching desire for validation. But here's the thing, when you reach out from that place, you're giving away your power. You're putting your sense of peace and identity into someone else's hands, and that's not what you deserve. This video is about reconnecting with your inner strength, embracing the philosophy of Stoicism to remain grounded and resilient, no matter what happens outside of you. It's about understanding that your value doesn't depend on her response, her attention, or her approval. It comes from within. So before you hit send, take a deep breath, step back, and let's dive into what it really means to reclaim your power, build unshakable confidence, and make decisions that serve your growth. Not your insecurities. This isn't about her, it's about you becoming the strongest, most authentic version of yourself. Let's get started. Number 1. Why the urge to text feels so strong. You know that feeling, the one where your heart races, your mind is spinning, and you just have to reach out. It's almost like a reflex. Why? Because your brain craves closure. It wants to fill the void, to know that everything is okay between you two. It's the same sensation that keeps you awake at night, scrolling through old messages, replaying moments over and over like a song stuck on repeat. But here's the truth, mastering your impulses is one of the greatest strengths you can develop. And it's not just about suppressing the urge, it's about understanding why you feel that way and learning to detach from it. Think about it, every time you text her out of desperation or anxiety, you're handing her the keys to your emotional well-being. You're letting your need for reassurance or validation dictate your actions. Epicus once said that real power lies in controlling oneself, not in controlling others. He meant that true freedom comes from mastering your own desires, not bending someone else's will to your needs. If you text her now, you're giving away that control. You're trading your inner peace for a moment of fleeting comfort. Imagine this, you send that text and maybe she responds, maybe she doesn't. Either way, you're left chasing her reactions, constantly gauging her interest, letting her response or lack of it define your mood. And that's not the mindset of a man who values his own peace of mind. Instead, embrace the silence, breathe, let the moment pass. Feel the urge, acknowledge it, but don't act on it. Just because you feel something intensely doesn't mean you have to act on it. That's where real power lies. It's like lifting weights for your mind. Resisting the urge to reach out is training your emotional resilience. Think of Marcus Aurelius, who believed in focusing only on what's within your control. Her response, her attention, her affection. None of that is within your control but your reaction. That's yours, completely and utterly yours. So the next time you feel that overwhelming urge to text her, remember that it's just a passing impulse. It's not a command. You have the choice to let it go, to focus on your own growth, your own purpose, and when you do, you'll realize that the peace you're looking for doesn't come from her reply, it comes from within. Number 2. What silence actually says to her. When you stop chasing, when you choose to remain calm and centered, instead of desperately trying to reach her, something powerful happens. She starts wondering. She starts questioning why your attention, once so readily available, has now withdrawn into quietness. You see, it's human nature to notice what's missing when your name doesn't pop up on her screen, when her phone remains still and silent. It creates a void, and voids have a way of drawing attention to themselves. It's like a missing piece in a puzzle. Its absence becomes all the more noticeable simply because it's not there. The Stoics understood the strength of restraint. Marcus Aurelius believed that staying composed under pressure was a mark of true power. Your silence is not a tactic to manipulate her. It's a demonstration of your ability to master yourself, to remain unshaken and unwavering, even when emotions try to pull you off course. When you refrain from texting her, you're not just holding back words, you're showing self-respect. You're proving to yourself that your happiness and peace of mind are not dependent on her response or approval. And make no mistake, that kind of composure is magnetic. It's something rare, something most people are not capable of achieving. Imagine her scrolling through her messages expecting to see your name there. only to be met with the emptiness of her inbox. It forces her to confront the reality that you're no longer chasing. And in that quietness, she starts to question her own importance in your life. Your absence becomes a mystery. She feels compelled to solve. Silence can be a statement of dignity. It's you, choosing calmness over chaos. It's you embracing the wisdom of knowing when to step back instead of pushing forward. Your silence is not a sign of weakness or disinterest. It's a testament to your strength, your discipline, your respect for yourself. Let your silence do the talking. It's more eloquent than any words you could ever send. And the best part, it shows her that your peace of mind is not something you're willing to sacrifice just to gain her attention. That's the paradoxical power hour of silence. It can convey messages stronger than spoken words, reiterating the profound Stoic wisdom that sometimes less is indeed more. But what do you think? How does this approach resonate with your own experiences? If you found this insight valuable, hit that like button, leave a comment sharing your thoughts, or simply type "silence is golden" in the comments. Below. Your interaction action not only helps us grow, but also fosters a community where we can all learn from each other's experiences. Now let's dive deeper into how this silence can shape perceptions and influence dynamics. Even further. Number 3. Reclaiming your emotional control the moment you decide not to text her. You've already taken a powerful step toward reclaiming your emotional power. It's like drawing a line in the sand, telling yourself, I control how I feel. Not her. My peace of mind doesn't depend on her reply, her affection, or her validation. That single act of restraint holds more power than you realize. When you feel that urge to reach out, what's really happening? Your emotions are screaming for relief, for reassurance, for something to cling to. But when you resist, you're training your mind to rely on itself instead of external validation. You're teaching yourself to find comfort within instead of desperately searching for it outside. Seneca put it best when he said, we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. So much of your anxiety is born from your own thoughts, wondering if she's thinking of you, imagining worst-case scenarios, trying to decipher her silence. But the truth is, all of that is beyond your control. You can't dictate her thoughts, her feelings, or her actions. What you can control is your response, and that's where true power lies. Choosing not to text her is a declaration of independence, a conscious decision. To detach your emotional well-being from her reactions instead of being pulled around by her whims. You are anchoring yourself in your own strength. Imagine a man standing in the middle of a raging storm, completely still and composed. That's what emotional control looks like. The chaos may rage around you, but your calmness remains unshaken. You've decided that your peace of mind is not something to be handed over so easily. When you choose silence, you're not playing games, you're reclaiming your authority over your own emotions. You're proving to yourself that you don't need her reply to feel validated or whole. And when you do that, you're operating from a place of genuine strength, not desperation. Seneca also said, it is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor by constantly seeking her attention or reassurance. You're acting from a place of lack, but when you choose to embrace your own emotional control, you're acknowledging that you are enough, that your strength, your composure, your peace, those things are already within you, waiting to be recognized. So the next time you feel your fingers hovering over your phone, take a breath and remember, this moment of restraint is a victory. It's you standing firm, refusing to hand over your emotional power to someone else. You're claiming your peace of mind, one moment of self-control at a time. Number 4, desperation or discipline. Choose your weapon. Desperation is loud, chaotic, and often embarrassing. It's the frantic texts, the endless scrolling, the urge to reach out just to fill the void it comes from. Lack the need for validation, the fear of rejection, the craving for reassurance. And worse, it's obvious. People can sense desperation from a mile away. And when she does, it only pushes her further away. Discipline, on the other hand, is quiet, confident, and unshakable. It's a fortress protecting your peace from external turmoil. When you act out of discipline rather than impulse, you send a powerful message to her, to the world, and most importantly, to yourself. I am in control. I do not chase validation because I don't need it. A disciplined man doesn't beg for attention or crumble at rejection. He remains composed, rooted in self-worth and that composure it commands. Respect, it's magnetic in a way. Desperation never could be. It's the difference between a man who pleads for affection and a man who knows he brings value wherever he goes. The Stoics understood this deeply. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." True discipline means understanding that your worth isn't determined by her reaction. It's something you build within yourself. Imagine two men in the same situation. One, driven by desperation, bombards her with messages, consumed by anxiety and doubt. The other, though feeling the same pain, chooses discipline. He acknowledges his emotions but doesn't act on them impulsively. Instead, he channels that energy into his work, his passions, his growth. The first man weakens himself with every desperate attempt. The second grows stronger with every moment of restraint. He understands that discipline is a muscle, and each time he chooses not to reach out, it grows a little stronger. Seneca said he is most powerful who has power over himself. Discipline isn't about playing games or making her miss you. It's about building a life so fulfilling that you no longer need her validation to feel whole. When you embrace discipline, you're not just avoiding a mistake, you're building your character. And that character, that's what makes you truly attractive. Not your words, not your messages, but the unwavering strength you show by not giving in to desperation. So ask yourself, will you let your emotions drive you recklessly? Or will you stand firm in your own worth and let your actions reflect your principles? Because at the end of the day, it's not about winning her back. It's about winning back your own respect. Number 5. Why? Chasing only pushes her away. Here's the paradox. The more you pursue, the further she pulls away. You invest your energy, attention, and effort, hoping to close the distance, but instead it only pushes her further. It's like trying to hold water with a clenched fist. The tighter you grip, the more it slips away. Chasing signals desperation, and desperation lowers your value. When you chase, you're telling her and yourself that your happiness depends on her approval. It's an energy of neediness, and nothing suffocates attraction faster. It's like trying to keep a flame alive by smothering it. It only dies out faster. True attraction needs space to breathe. The more you push, the more you show you're willing to sacrifice your peace just for a response. But what if instead of chasing, you stepped back? What if you chose composure over desperation? Her attention, her feelings, her reactions. None of that is in your control, but your response, that's entirely yours. Chasing hands your power to her, but letting go reclaims it. Now picture this: you stop chasing, the energy she once felt overwhelmed by is gone. And in that silence, she starts to wonder. She expects your usual messages, but instead there's nothing. That absence becomes a mirror, reflecting her own thoughts, her own feelings, instead of you chasing her. She's left to question why you're not. Seneca wrote, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more. That is poor." Chasing comes from craving, from feeling incomplete without her, but stepping back says, "I don't need you to feel whole." And that realization, it's powerful. By not chasing you, create space for her to realize what she's missing. Your silence, your composure, your self-assurance. These things are rare, and they speak louder than any words you could send. She begins to question why you're not chasing anymore, and in that questioning, she feels the shift. If you truly want to spark something meaningful, don't chase, step back. Stand firm in your own worth. Let her feel your absence, because true power isn't in seeking control over someone else, it's in mastering yourself. Number 6. Becoming the unshakable man. Women are drawn to men who are emotionally stable, men who aren't easily shaken by silence, rejection, or uncertainty. It's not about pretending to be indifferent or playing games. It's about building real resilience, the kind that remains steady no matter the situation. That kind of composure isn't just attractive. It's rare. When a woman pulls away, tests your patience, or acts unpredictably, your response reveals everything. If you react with desperation or panic, you show that your emotions control you. But if you remain calm and unbothered, you signal true inner strength. She sees a man who doesn't rely on her validation to feel whole, a man who stands firm in his own self-worth. Most men hand over their emotional control too easily. letting a text or the lack of one dictate their mood, but the unshakable man understands that his peace of mind is his responsibility alone. Picture you're a mountain in the middle of a storm. The winds howl, the rain pours, but you remain unmoved. It's not that you don't feel emotions, it's that you've mastered your response to them. You acknowledge them without letting them dictate your actions. That kind of presence is powerful. She might test you, pull away, or try to provoke a reaction, but when you stay composed, it sends a clear message. My peace doesn't depend on you. I am in control of myself. And that quiet confidence, it's magnetic. It makes her wonder why you're different, why you're not reacting the way she expected. Stoicism teaches us to cultivate inner tranquility, to focus on what we can control, and to release what we cannot not. The unshakable man embodies this. He doesn't allow others' actions to dictate his mood. He responds with calmness and intention. Seneca said, "A man's worth is measured by the things he can do without the less." You crave validation, approval, or attention. The more powerful you become. It's not about suppressing emotions, it's about mastering them. So the next time you feel the urge to reach out to prove something, to demand a response, pause. Remind yourself that true strength lies in composure. You are not a man ruled by fleeting emotions. You are the unshakable man, grounded, calm, and fully in control. And that kind of presence commands respect. If you've made it this far, you're clearly dedicated to mastering the art of composure and building true inner strength. Now take a moment to reflect. Which part of this message hit home for you? Have you experienced moments where your calmness made all the difference? Share your thoughts below, or if you're embracing this mindset, leave this sentence in the comments: I am in control of myself. Your journey matters, and your insight could inspire someone else. Let's keep this conversation going. Number 7, the art of letting her miss you. Step back and allow her to feel your absence. It's counterintuitive. Isn't it the instinct to reach out to bridge the silence with words, to seek reassurance? It's natural, but attraction doesn't grow through force. It thrives in space. Imagine a fire. If you smother it with too much attention, it dies out. It needs air. To grow, the same principle applies here. If you're always there, always reaching out, she never has the opportunity to reflect on what she's lost. She never gets the chance to wonder, to question, to feel your absence and recognize the value of your presence. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The more we value things outside our control, the less control we have. When you chase, when you try to force her attention, you surrender your power. You place your worth in her hands. But when you step back, you reclaim that control. You're no longer seeking her validation. You're allowing her the freedom to feel your absence and come to her own conclusions." Detachment doesn't mean you don't care. It means you care wisely. It means you're secure enough to let things unfold naturally. Your value doesn't disappear just because she isn't acknowledging it at this moment. Your worth remains whether she sees it or not. Picture her going through her day, expecting your messages, your attempts to reconnect. But instead, silence. That silence becomes a mirror reflecting her own thoughts and emotions, and in that space, curiosity begins to grow, perhaps even frustration. She starts to wonder, why isn't he chasing? Why does he seem so calm? Seneca once said, "It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare, but because we do not dare that they are difficult." The challenge isn't in stepping back, it's in trusting the process. It's in resisting the urge to control the outcome. When you have the courage to sit with discomfort, to let go of immediate gratification, you unlock a strength most men never develop. Letting her miss you isn't about playing games, it's about respect. Respect for her freedom to feel her own emotions without interference. Respect for yourself, knowing that your peace of mind doesn't depend on her presence. And if she doesn't come back, then you've gained clarity. You've learned that your happiness was never meant to be in someone else's hands. Let her come to you if she chooses. But in the meantime, focus on living a life so full, so rich with purpose, that you never feel the need to chase anyone. That's the real power. The quiet, unshakable confidence of a man who knows his own value. Number 8. Resisting the trap of instant gratification your brain craves. Quick fixes. Texting her is one of them. That sudden rush of dopamine. The fleeting sense of relief when you hit send feels like control. But here's the truth. That relief is always temporary. It soothes for a moment. But soon the urge returns stronger than before, and with it more anxiety, more overthinking, more emotional dependence. Real strength lies in resisting that impulse. It's about breaking free from the cycle of instant gratification and choosing something deeper, something lasting, but that requires patience, a rare trait. In a world addicted to immediacy, the Stoics understood this well. True mastery of the self means denying the pull of short-term comfort in favor of long-term stability. Seneca once said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." Your mind plays tricks on you, making you believe that reaching out will bring closure, satisfaction, or reassurance, but more often than not, it only leads to more insecurity. The real suffering isn't in her silence, it's in your reaction to it. Imagine building a fortress, solid, unshakable, a place of true peace. Every time you resist the impulse to text, you lay another stone in its foundation. The work is slow, even uncomfortable, but with each moment of restraint, you grow stronger. This is the patience that separates the unshaken from the restless, the disciplined from the desperate. Think of it like planting a tree. You don't keep digging up the soil to check if the roots are growing. You nurture it, trust the process, and let time do its work. The same applies here. By allowing silence to settle, you're giving her space to reflect, but more importantly, you're proving to yourself that your happiness is not dependent on her response. Seneca also said, "Time heals. What reason cannot, but time can only." Work if you let it. That means being willing to sit with discomfort, to resist the urge to control what isn't yours to control. Because in the end, this was never about her. It was about you, your growth, your transformation, your journey toward becoming a man of unwavering strength and composure. Every time you choose patience over impulse, you sharpen your discipline. You reclaim your peace, and with time, you'll realize that silence is not emptiness. It's the space where true strength is forged. Pause for a moment and think about this. How often have you acted on the urge for a quick fix only to find that the relief is fleeting? Reflect on the times you resisted the temptation to reach out immediately. How did that make you feel in the long run? Was the outcome different when you chose patience over impulsiveness? Share your experiences in the comments below, or simply type, "Patience builds strength," to affirm your commitment to embracing this powerful discipline. Number 9. Building. Your value in silence. Use this silence to build, not brood. It's easy to get lost in overanalyzing her actions, replaying past conversations, or waiting for a message that may never come. But all of that only traps you in frustration and self-doubt. Instead, take this as an opportunity to shift your focus towards something far more valuable: your own growth. Think of your silence as fertile soil. What you choose to plant and nurture now will determine the kind of man you become. Push yourself. In the gym, test your limits and build the kind of strength that commands respect. Not just from others, but from yourself. Reignite the passions and projects you may have set aside while caught up in thoughts of her. Expand your knowledge. Refine your skills and pursue those ambitions you kept delaying. Every step you take towards self-improvement makes you stronger, more disciplined, and less dependent on external validation. And that growth, it speaks louder than any words you could say. It sends a clear message not just to her, but to the world. I'm a man who values himself enough to keep moving forward, no matter who chooses to walk beside me. You don't need to prove anything to her, to anyone. You simply need to become better. Not out of spite, not as a tactic to win her back, but because it's what you owe yourself. A strong man doesn't chase validation. He builds value, and in doing so, he naturally attracts the right people and opportunities into his life. While she's wondering about your silence, you're out there leveling up physically, mentally, financially. You're building a life so full and rewarding that her presence or absence no longer defines your happiness. That's where real power lies, in knowing that your worth isn't tied to anyone else's approval. A Stoic man moves with purpose. He doesn't waste energy obsessing over things beyond his control. He channels that energy into what he can control: his discipline, his focus, his own evolution. The more you invest in yourself, the less her silence will affect you, and eventually she will notice, because true strength and self-assurance are undeniable. Seneca said, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor when you train yourself to need less. You gain more when you stop seeking comfort in others. You find true power within yourself. And that's a rare thing in a world full of men desperately searching for external validation. So use this time wisely. Let your progress do the talking, because a man who is constantly growing, learning, and evolving is never truly alone. He's too focused on becoming the best version of himself to be distracted by temporary setbacks. And in the end, that's what makes him truly valuable. Not just to others, but to himself." Number 10. When and why you should actually reach out. There will come a time when reaching out feels right, but it should come from confidence, not neediness. Your message should stem from a place of calmness and clarity, not desperation, so that you are genuinely at peace with any response, whether positive, indifferent, or silent. Reaching out shouldn't be about seeking validation or trying to elicit a reaction. When you act out of desperation, your words carry insecurity. But when you act from a place of strength, your message reflects the truth of who you are. A man who is stable, assured, and content within himself. As Marcus Aurelius said, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." So before you text, ask yourself, am I doing this because I truly want to, or because I feel I need to? Am I acting from strength or weakness? If you're still anxious, overthinking her reaction, or secretly hoping for a particular outcome, it's not the right time. Instead, continue focusing on your growth physically, mentally, and emotionally. Build a life so fulfilling that her attention no longer defines your sense of worth. Work on your goals, develop your passions, and invest in yourself until the urge to reach out is no longer fueled by insecurity, but by genuine intent. And when you do decide to reach out, it will feel different. You won't be looking for approval or chasing validation. You'll simply be expressing something real with no attachment to the outcome. That difference is powerful. It shifts the dynamic from seeking to offering, from neediness to self-assurance. Seneca said, "He who is brave is free." Bravery in this case means having the courage to act without clinging to the result, whether she responds warmly, indifferently, or not at all. Your peace remains intact. That's true freedom, knowing your value isn't tied to someone else's reaction. The truth is, when you reach out from a place of inner strength, she will sense it. She'll feel the difference between a man who is chasing and one who is simply extending a gesture with quiet confidence. That distinction between seeking and offering, between insecurity and self-sufficiency, changes everything. So reach out only when your actions align with your principles, when your message is free from desperation and expectation, when it reflects growth, self-respect, and authenticity. And no matter how she responds, you'll walk away with your integrity intact, knowing that your actions were rooted in strength, not weakness. Number 11. Embracing the outcome. Whatever it is, this is the final test of your strength. The moment when all your patience, discipline, and self-growth come together. When you reach out from a place of peace, you've already won, regardless of how she responds. Why? Because you've proven to yourself that you are stronger than your impulses. You've broken free from the cycle of attachment and desperation. If she doesn't respond the way you hoped, that's not failure, it's clarity. It's reality revealing itself to you, unfiltered and honest. And as a Stoic, you embrace reality as it is, not as wish it to be. Marcus Aurelius said, "Accept the things to which fate binds you, and love the people with whom fate brings you together, but do so with all your heart." The real test is how you handle the unexpected. When you release expectations, you free yourself from disappointment. If she doesn't reciprocate your energy, it doesn't diminish your worth. It only reinforces your commitment to your own growth and principles. Walking away with dignity is not defeat, it's a declaration of self-respect. It's choosing long-term peace over fleeting validation. It's understanding that your value is not tied to her response. This is a strength that most men never cultivate. Picture this. You send your message calm and sincere after doing the inner work. Whether she responds warmly, indifferently, or not at all, your reaction remains the same. Steady, composed, unaffected, because your peace isn't dependent on her. Think of how much anxiety is caused by fearing rejection, dreading silence, or anticipating indifference. But when you let go of those fears and accept whatever unfolds, You realize the only battle was within your own mind. If she doesn't return, your energy, walk away with grace, thank the experience for the lessons, and move forward with strength. Because this was never about winning her over. It was about reclaiming yourself, proving that your emotional stability and self-worth are not for sale. You've grown because you chose self-respect over fleeting desire, because you acted with purpose, not desperation, because you embraced silence, resisted the urge to chase, and poured your energy into building a fulfilling life. And that strength, it's unshakable. It stays with you whether she sees it or not. You've already won by valuing yourself, and that victory is yours to keep. So whatever happens, wear it like armor. Let it fortify your resolve. You are no longer controlled by fleeting emotions. You have embraced your own growth, your own journey, your own peace of mind, and that, my friend, makes you unstoppable. If you're about to text her again, take a deep breath and consider this. First, this video isn't just about resisting the impulse to send a message. It's about understanding why that impulse is so strong and what you can do to regain control of your emotions and actions. This is about reclaiming your personal power and valuing your peace of mind more than the fleeting comfort of a text conversation. Remember, this journey is not just about not texting her. It's about building an inner strength that remains stable and confident regardless of outside responses. It's about becoming the most authentic and strong version of yourself, a version that doesn't rely on her validation to feel valuable or complete. Throughout this video, we've explored the importance of silent VN's discipline and emotional control. These are not just tactics, but vital skills that help you maintain your dignity and self-respect. By embracing these principles, you're not playing games, you're growing stronger and becoming more resilient against the challenges of emotional attachments. Now, I invite you to like this video if you found it helpful. Leave a comment with your thoughts or experiences. And don't forget to check out the recommended videos on your screen for more insights and advice. Your engagement helps us reach more people and create content that empowers you just like this. Thank you for watching, and remember, your strength and value come from within, not from the notifications on your phone.